Hello guys, my name is Chris Davenport. I'm with DsBalls, and today we're going to take a look at my facility, and we're going to look at everything that I use and what systems I use to make it work for me. But this is how I have my facility set up, and I hope you enjoy this video. So the most important part is being able to feed your snakes. Right here at my facility, we have two buildings behind me that house the rats. I do rats, ASFs, and mice. I feed all my animals 5 days on the hatchlings, 7 days on the adults, and I do not feed anything over a small rat. I have some snakes that only like ASFs, and I have some that only like mice. So I do all three, and I don't run any air conditioning, and I just run exhaust fans and fans inside the building. I have these nice Eureka palms that kind of shade the building behind me. So the way that the sun rises down here in Florida, it guards it against sun there. We're still working on it. We're gonna add some sunshades to get from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock off of the rat building. But I average about 84 degrees in there, and I have about a total of 75 concrete tubs, and I have about 30 colonies of mice, and I have about 40 colonies of ASF. All right guys, let's head inside and we will take a look at the first half of this building. This is a 26 by 26 building. I do not have any air conditioning in it. I use fans, and I use exhaust fans, and then I use it's a 12-foot ceiling fan that circulates the air. This is the first half of the building. It's a 12-foot by 26, and this is where my office is. This is where I work on the computer, and then this is where I have the hatchling racks. So I use a Sea Serpent V18, but I use the FB5 tubs inside of it to give me a little bit more room for all the hatchlings. What I do is I use a number system. So on the first one I use a 1.1. That means that this is clutch 1, snake 1. This is clutch 1, snake 2, and it's a male or a female. Then what I do is I have a database where I store everything, and it tells me what kind of snake it is, and it also tells me who I sold it to and the price that I'm asking for the snake. I also, on the tubs, if it's going to be a holdback, I write H. And then if it hasn't eaten, I go through every 5 days and feed everything. And if it hasn't eaten, I put a line. And if it gets multiple lines, then I'll try to figure out what's wrong or change up between a mice or ASF to get it eating again and get it active. So right here is all the snakes for sale and the snakes that are being held back from this year's hatchlings. This is a corner where I take all my pictures. I have a light box here. I got this light box off of Amazon. It has multiple backgrounds in it: white, brown, red, blue. I have my scale, and this is where I also do my packaging of snakes and stuff being shipped out in this corner. Now this was one of the funnest parts of building this building. Was I always wanted a bar. As we can see, my friend Billy, he's on Mutation Creation YouTube channel. A lot of times I just sit out here looking at the hatchlings, trying to figure out what they are, taking pictures to put on social media, and then I'll sit back and I'll watch some YouTube and just see what other people in the industry are doing. It's so important for the social media aspect of it. All right guys, this is the main room in the facility. It's a 14 by 26 area. I have a sink in it for water for when I'm changing out waters. Also, I use ARS racks, the hybrid racks. I have a 50 series hybrid, I have a 70, 20, and then I have the 55 series, and then also I have a 1065 hatchling rack for snakes that I purchase, and then also for snakes that I that I'm holding back, and once they get too big for the hatchling, I move them over to this room. Some people might ask, hey, why do you keep your hatchlings and stuff away from your normal collection? For me, is those snakes are going to shows with me, and I don't want to cross-contaminate the snakes between shows and what I'm working with in here. I have two rows of females here. Then these are my breedable males. I do 2 rows, and I'm working on getting some sea serpent subadults, and I'm gonna put those on the other side of the room where I can get my males away from my females, and I can have more room to move my females out of my hatchling into my 50 series rack. So these are my bigger females in the 70-20. And then, as you can see, this is one of my big females. We call her Dinosaur Head. So this is a blade clown female that we have been paired up with a red stripe circus het clown male. A lot of cards are in here. So this is this keeps me in line and keeps me in track of what I'm doing. I ultrasound here. I purchased an ultrasound earlier this year from Breeder Circle. I only had 4 or 5 clutches last year. This year I'm gonna be closer to 30 clutches. The ultrasound is nice because I'm able to tell where my females are at any given time, and when I need to pair the female with the male. In these cards, it shows me the eggs hatched today, and then it shows the male that was in there and when I put the male in there each time. So as you can see, I try to keep every 3 weeks I tried to slide a male in with this female, and then you can see from 320 to 425, that was the real growth. She went from a 13.8 follicle to a 23.6 follicle. And then once they get over 30, she was at 31. I put the male in one last time at 6'8", and then 6'28". She was her eggs were screen size, and then at 7'18" she laid. So that's how I kind of keep track, and then I keep these in a file, and then it will show me year to year how many eggs they have, and also when they laid and what their track progression is on the females. Alright guys, and then we have the 55 series. The 55 series is nice to keep females that are bigger and then need the space. I really like the ARS racks, the way that they're laid out. The water bowl is closer towards the front, so when I'm feeding, it gives the snake more room to grab the meal when I slide in the live rats. So this is a 55-40. I have the 1065 hybrid. These are the snakes that will be shifting over to the 50-40 or the 55-40, and then the males into the subadults once they get of size. I use paper towels because these, as you know, hatchlings and smaller animals, they go to the bathroom a lot when you're feeding them meals. It works for me to use paper towels. Some people use coconuts, some people use hemp in there. But for me, what works is paper towels. It's easy, once a week we go through and clean. Midweek I do a spot clean to make sure that there's no feces in there and stuff like that. This is a 1065 hatchling rack by ARS. Alright guys, and this is where we do the hemp. we're looking at getting a bigger building for the hemp operation, but right now we break it down and we vacuum seal the hemp here with a vacuum seal machine and bags. So we take the hemp and then we get it in bulk, and then we break it down into the smaller bags, which we ship out to you guys. Now the next thing I use that really helps me out is I use tag systems. I use red tag. That means that one of the females, I'm having an issue with the snake either eating or she reabsorbed her eggs or something. I'll put a red tag with a little clip onto the tub, and that tells me that I need to really watch that snake. Secondly, I use a white tag. What the white tag means is the female, she has hit the screen size, which is about 40 millimeters, you know, between 35 and 40 millimeters on the ultrasound. So that tells me that, hey, I need to watch that snake, and she's gonna have eggs sometime soon. I use the green tag. That shows me that there's a male inside the tub with the females. So I know not to disturb them, and I always, I'm able to go and just quickly look and know where all my males are at. And then I use the yellow tag, means caution. So if I have had a snake that hasn't been eating and I've noticed it's missed a meal a couple of times, I'll throw this yellow tag on, and that will tell me that I need to either change it to an ASF, or I need to change it to a mouse, or what I'm doing is not working with that snake. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed coming into my facility and seeing what makes it work for myself. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me or leave a comment. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.